Resolved that the town council hereby adopts the within budget as fiscal year 2017, July 1, 2016 through June 30th, 2017, proposed budget to be presented to the voting public to be held on Thursday, May 19th, 2016. Town budget, $92,151,787. Total estimated revenue other than property tax, $28,252,360. Total estimated to be raised from property tax, $63,899,427.
Is that, I'll move the resolution.
Second. Move and second for discussion.
So we discussed this obviously in executive session as a council, and a couple issues came to light. And based on the discussion we had and based on the conversations that I had with Fred and a couple of the other council people, I'm going to make a motion to amend page 20 of the budget, line 3, department head salaries, from what it's set at now to $87,731.
What does that represent?
That's the fire budget, and that would be amending the department head, or the increase in a department head position, from one chief, one assistant chief, to just one chief.
So that assistant chief total amount it would cost on the budget would be $87,000, including benefits?
No, the line item for this fiscal year I'm proposing stays what it was for last year, which is $87,731.
Right, okay, so I'm saying that dollar amount would be the funding for one of the positions.
The difference in what it is currently and what I just said would be the value for that position. I'm proposing that it be in line with the 5-year plan, not with what the manager or the department currently said.
You'd also have to eliminate.
But again, isn't
benefit item.
that the amount of money that was budgeted for an assistant, including benefits?
Benefits would be in separate line items.
Only, these benefits would be under the separate items where you have, because we broke out health and
Right.
pension and all those other things into other
Okay.
line items there, so
So,
salary only from what he just discussed.
okay, so we're leaving the benefits in?
I don't know if he's finished, but so far.
Why would you for a position you don't have?
John, do you have the total amount? Total,
Yes, in the personnel supplement that was provided to the council as part of the previous binder, it does have the positions and the applicable benefits. In that position, benefits.
And a reduction in payroll taxes line item of $2685, and a reduction in benefit, medical of, what was medical?
I have total benefits of $13,196 in the four different
Yeah.
salary line, benefit lines.
So the total would be $83,396.
correct.
And let me just ask a quick question. I have a motion on the floor already, but Dave already made a second motion about removing this portion from the line item. The question I have is, if this is removed at this point, we would have to have 2 more hearings, correct? Because that's a change to the budget.
2 more public hearings, yes.
And
Unless there's going to be a set-off of $83,396, because you got that in the budget right now. If you remove that, you won't be in balance.
So, another thing that we did discuss was, I don't know how much I can get into as far as executive session, but I know a discussion, and you can cut me off if I'm,
So, let me do it.
go ahead.
The issue would be whether or not to fund the position versus filling the position. The issue would be funding the position, or having the revenue to fund the position versus filling the position. So even though the money is there, that doesn't mean the council has to act upon filling the position or the proposed position of assistant chief. And if that money was still there in the budget, and it wasn't used throughout the entire fiscal year, then the council obviously can move monies from line item to line item within the department, or also from the department to department after the 6 months is up. So just because it's in there doesn't mean it has to be filled. Everyone understand that?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
No.
Motion on the floor, vote on it.
well, you didn't get a second?
Well, you,
Well, Dave
Yeah, the
didn't get a
first-
second.
You didn't get a
So
second?
you already have a motion on the floor, I did get a second on that one.
But it's better than one motion at a time.
What do you mean?
I have a motion from you, but he made a motion to change the budget, how does he go?
No, no,
Move to discuss, he made a motion to amend the budget, there has not been a second for his motion to amend. So if there's not any second for his motion dies. So that's, there's gonna be a second for his
And
motion.
one of the reasons why I won't second that is because of having 2 public hearings further than this, we do not really have time at this point. I mean, I don't think we can get it done. Do you, John?
No, we can move that money anytime we want, or decide whatever whatever the majority of the council wants to do further down the line.
So the funding is there.
I make a motion to leave this amount in the budget and take.
Don't have to make a
No.
motion.
All right,
Nobody
then.
second.
There's no one seconding the motion dies, you can carry on the next 5 minutes. So, motion's on the floor to pass this budget as here tonight. I'll
Yeah,
take,
I don't, oh, sorry.
I'll take a, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, I mean, like any budget, it's not perfect. After about, I guess, 13 budgets, you know, I've often had to compromise, you know, on things that I really didn't want to see in here, but for the good of the order and getting all the good things in here passed, you know, I've compromised. So, you know, it's not perfect, and I'm sure that'll be pointed out during our town financial meeting. It's not perfect, but generally speaking, I think it's holding pretty true to our 5-year plan. By the way, it is a plan. It's not mandated that we stick to it penny by penny. We've already proven that by going off here. But we've also already saved, I think, $2 million the first year, $1 million the second year, all right? That was
I thought we had a
anticipated.
1.4 deficit.
No, I'm talking
year.
about the money that we had planned on taking from the rainy day fund.
Correct.
We didn't.
the 5-year
You know,
plan projected as a.
And our tax rate, I think consecutively for 2 years now have been lower than anticipated
Correct.
on what the people voted for. So again, it's not perfect, but we're not out of the woods, but we still have to manage this town. We know what the state had told us about our filling our positions and getting things in order so we run this town more efficiently. And I think that's what I've been trying to do. I think everybody here has been trying to do that for years, the years that they've been here. We're trying to do it as efficiently as possible. Everything is scrutinized. I can defend, I believe, everything that's in here, my reasoning. And ultimately, the bottom line is it's for the benefit of the town, because a town that runs efficiently absolutely benefits everybody and the taxpayers. So thank you to the town manager, finance director, and everybody else involved in the directors for doing a good job putting this together.
For the record, John, I'd like you to speak on the email you sent out the other day regarding veterans exemptions and seniors and that, please.
Did you have something to do before?
I'll simply say in a nutshell, once we did actually look at the Rhode Island general laws, Christine and I, actually Christine was given a heads up to it by the former tax assessor that in fact there is a general law or 2 general laws that actually set the exemption amounts to be what they currently are. So at this point in time, in this legislative year, it's too late to actually have anything changed. So the suggestion, I can speak with the solicitor as well, the suggestion was that the council could actually have some ordinances and adopt some ordinances to change that rate and then lobby the legislation for next year to actually change the rate to be something that's more in line with what's been discussed in the meetings previously.
And John, thanks, and that's one of the big disappointments that I have. You know, I brought that up. I think several of us brought up that the seniors certainly deserve
Absolutely.
you know, a break. And being, as far as I can see, the lowest exemption in the state for the seniors, very, very disappointed that we didn't act on it a little bit quicker. I know it was brought in kind of late, but next year, absolutely, if I'm still here, next year, positively, we'll get that moving and give the seniors a little bit of a break.
And that's something that we would also suggested in one of the previous meetings about forming a tax rate commission of some sort. You can possibly have that be one of the tasks that that commission undertakes as well, as far as looking at the exemptions compared to other communities.
Yeah.
And, presenting ordinances to the council or suggesting ordinances to the council that can actually change the rate to be something that's more in line with what you like to do. But,
Absolutely, I think we should have that commission. Thanks, John.
okay.
And though I wish the council would have entertained my motion, at least for discussion, I just wanted to say to the council and to the public that I do firmly support the 5-year plan and this budget, because I believe that though nothing is perfect in this budget, what it is doing is great for the town. It's saving the town from many bad things that could have happened. Sometimes I like to think about, not for enjoyment, but actually, just to kind of uplift us in these times, what this town may have looked like had we not implemented the 5-year plan and all the bad things that could have come down the pipeline, from the number of people that we have working, to tax rates, to the pension system and the health of it, to all these different things. So I do support the budget. I just wish the council would have entertained my motion for discussion.
Dave, I'm going to be voting against the budget.
Well, I was gonna take a roll call vote.
Well, I want to say why before I vote.
Yeah.
I want it on record, because all this is doing is kicking the can down the road. I know how much work, nothing against Fred, John, the rest of the council that supports it. As I've been saying, you have a 20% tax increase the next 5 years, this 5 years. Next 5 years, it doesn't solve our problem. We're going to have another 20%, 15 to 23% tax increase, which probably in the end of 15 years, you got a 60% tax increase. And the taxpayers are strapped now, and we're not solving anything. All we're doing is calming down the fire a little bit. I agree that we had to make a move on something, but it was some of the wrong moves. I would have took a different avenue on it. And as you all know, I come out publicly and saying it. And I can't support the budget with another tax increase.
So, Angelo, out of all our meetings that we had, I didn't hear this different avenue until tonight.
Oh, no, I told Ed right from the beginning, I am not supporting the budget because of the tax increase.
Okay, but again, there's no tax increase. In fact,
No, there is.
so there's a valuation increase,
Right.
which of people's houses,
Right.
I think, is a good thing.
And the only
on
reason
going
why
up.
there's not a tax increase is because it's a political year.
No.
I mean,
No, we can't go over 4%, Angelo, so state
And
facts.
next
We're
year,
actually
you'll
looking
be
at
asking-
reducing the
Right.
single-family rate by 16 cents per thousand. Now, speaking to a couple of my neighbors, my evaluation went up, but
So
their
did mine.
evaluation went down, and one stayed the same, and one went up 5,000.
But it's always the
But-
same.
but
A
Angelo-
third goes up, a third goes down,
But
and a
again,
third stays the same.
you're
But it's the
again,
same third that's
you're
getting whacked.
You're stating misinformation. There is no physical tax increase from this town council. in
All
this
right, Dave, while we're on the subject, what happens in the next 5 years after this 5-year
I don't know, we're
plan?
putting $10 million a year into
Okay,
a pension
where do
that
we
we used to
get-
only put $1.5 million.
I understand
So you're
that.
sitting here saying, we're not going down and we're going down
Where-
the wrong path. I
where-
mean, $8.5 million, and I got some union members here in the crowd. Would you want us to go back to $1.5
I'm
million?
not
Are you
saying
happy with
taking out of the
10
pension. There
million?
was other ways to do it. You got, all this is coming
I mean-
to us, that's my opinion.
I just want
That's
you to
what
be
my
factual here.
constituents,
Your
I am
opinion should
saying
be
the facts.
factual.
What happens after 5 years?
You make another 5-year plan.
Okay. We're not
I
going,
think it's
we're
best we
fifth
always
highest
have
in
a
the state
5-year
now.
plan.
We're
not the
moving,
5th, we're the 14th.
no, we're
You
not,
keep
we're fifth.
No, we're
We're
not.
fifth. Fifth in the state with higher taxes. We moved from ninth to fifth,
Angelo,
and we're
you
moving
say
to
it every
first.
single year. and
Listen,
Ray
I'm not
Beatty's-
gonna argue. I'm voting against the budget.
Okay, you can vote against the budget. You do it every year, but I never hear anything new out of you. I always hear the
Because I ain't
same.
got no backing to do something new.
If you come up with a good idea, you might get the backing.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything great.
Listen, when certain individuals vote for something because they're afraid of what the repercussions are gonna be during an election, I don't care. I took an oath to represent the taxpayers of this town to the best of my ability, and I will not get threatened. I will not have any political pull that I'm gonna change my opinion on anything.
But Angelo,
So I'll take my stand.
I'm
I'll take
just-
my chances. The worst that can happen is I get beat, but it hasn't happened the last 5 terms.
I'm not talking about elections. I'm talking about, you're sitting here saying you would have went down a different avenue. I would have loved to hear that avenue, because I
I
personally.
brought it up.
What,
I brought it up a million times. I'm not getting into it. Now the budget's done.
tell me, well, I might
I'm
change
not
my mind
going
and vote
into it.
against the budget. Tell
I'm
me
not
what
getting
those
into
avenue
it.
is.
Nope, not me. You know what they are.
I mean, you can't, contracts are contracts, you can't change
Yep.
anything of that right now. Correct?
That's why I was against the 5-year plan to begin with. We needed to get to the table more. We had to do more.
Okay.
So to be clear for the taxpayers, the town is collecting a levy of 4% more taxes, but that is due primarily to the growth in the town. The values of the homes have gone up based on the statistical evaluation that was just conducted. In fact, the tax rate, the dollar amount per thousand that you figure out for your home is going down this year. That amount, we're actually decreasing the tax rate 0.62% for the residential homes
If we adopt this.
if we adopt this plan. So the rate is going down, but the town is collecting more money, but it's due to the fact that homes in West Warwick are worth more than they were worth last year. So,
And to be honest with you,
just to be clear.
I feel a little more relieved that my house is actually going up and not going down, down, down.
Where do you think they'd
because-
be if the town went bankrupt?
Exactly. I mean, think about what that's gonna do for our rating. Think about what that's gonna do for residents who wanna move into the town. They're saying, who wants to buy a house that knows is gonna be devalued in 5 years and at a loss? I mean, personally, I've been here my entire life, bought a house here at 19 years old, and I mean, as much as I complain about taxes myself, I'm the average taxpayer, but to see my house double in valuation in my 20 years here, 23 years here, you know, I feel okay with that. You know, my
Go to
taxes.
sell it. Tell me what you get.
I think I can get what, I think you know, Ann asked me that question. Do you think you can get what the valuation of your house is? I think on both of them, I think I probably could.
Even with the water damage?
Actually, it's all new now, so.
Pyrex.
When's the town financial meeting?
17.
May 17th, right. May 17th, it's a Tuesday night. For those of you that may be watching or see this recording, please attend. If you have any questions, this is posted on our website. I'd be happy to answer questions. We've worked very, very hard. Let's face it, most of the work, the heavy lifting, is done by our excellent town manager, our finance director, and the directors here. This town council has made great selections on leadership here. We are doing the best we can. I don't want to pay any more taxes either. No one here does. But I won't vote against it just as a matter of principle. It's not perfect, but we are careful on how we do spending. We have been for many, many years, especially within the last couple of years with the 5-year plan. I mean, we're looking for cuts wherever we can. The directors put in a budget, then the town manager puts in a budget. We discuss it with the director to find out, why they need that money, what would happen if you didn't get that money. It's a great process. Unfortunately, not too many people from the public participate, but at least, we have a record now that will last for maybe hundreds of years, a videotape on exactly how we presented it, how we spoke, what we said about the budget, our opinions of it. It's a matter of record of what we said. Please, review those. If you have any questions, call the manager's office. Sorry, John, call the finance department's office. If you don't understand this completely, if you want to understand this completely, there's nothing holding you back. There will be no pushback from our members here in the town hall to explain what these dollars are about. We're working on your benefit. There's no doubt about it. I mean, all the hours that we've put in, we're working for your benefit. Nobody wants to see things go up, but it does. I think we've got a good budget here, like I said before, not perfect, but a really good budget, certainly worthy of your support. So please support it. Thank you.
Public discussion? Bert, just come up to the mic real quick.
Does the same principle apply to the business property, because the business property has been appreciated more, or is the tax rate changed?
As of right now, the proposed tax rates in front of us, and I'll just throw it out there real quick. We haven't voted on this, we haven't set this yet, so we still have to discuss this later on in this meeting. But the tax levy for single family would be $25.80, which is a reduction of 16 cents per thousand. Two-family owner occupied, which went from $25.96 to $26.80 for an increase of, I just quick, 94 cents. Real estate, which is codes 40, 50, 30, which is two-family, non-owner occupied, 3, 4, 5, 6 and more family, is staying the same at 37.27 per thousand. Real estate properties, commercial, industrial, right now is at 31.54, looking to stay at 31.54. Personal property, tangible property is at 41.03, looking at 41.03 with a 0% increase. Motor vehicles, we do not raise that, so that will stay at the same at 28.47 per thousand. What is frozen property?
There's no freeze.
Okay, so, well, we do have, do we have any more properties on frozen? We have a couple, right?
I don't think there's many.
The automotive, does that still say at $1,500 exemption?
It's staying at the, we didn't reduce any exemptions.
No freeze. Three freezes.
So it's still staying at $1,500 exemption, so, nothing's changed there also.
And the rates that the council president just read out will be published as part of the required documents with the state of Rhode Island, and published in the paper as well, prior to the vote of the financial town meeting.
That ain't 4.5%, is it?
That's required to be
Yeah, all right,
done
4.49.
within 15 days of the actual
Two-family
town meeting.
owner-occupied,
The reverse math.
evaluation only went up .032%, less than a single family.
Any other questions from the public? Hearing none, I'm gonna take a roll call vote. Brian, for the budget?
Yes.
Actually, he made a motion.
No.
Yes.
There's a motion.
Good discussion, huh?
Discussion.
Yeah, Angelo moved to pass.
Yeah,
He made the motion to pass the budget. Oh,
I made a motion to discuss.
To discuss.
So you have to
You
have a
vote.
motion to
You need a
pass.
roll call, you need a motion to
You need a
pass.
motion first, right.
Okay. Motion to pass the budget.
Second.
Motion, we've already discussed it, so I'll take a roll call vote. Brian?
Yes.
Angelo?
No.
David?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Questions to be asked on the May 19th, 2016 ballot for the all-day vote. Resolved that the town council hereby adopts the following wording to be placed on the ballot for the all-day vote on the budget, town budget on May 19th, 2016. 1, shall the annual town budget for the town of West Warwick be passed in the total amount of $92,151,787 for fiscal year 2017? Do you want me to do them all at once or one at a time?
Did you pass out a hard copy of that?
I didn't get a copy on it. No, what the questions were gonna be.
I'll just get it online.
You want to read it? You got them. They were sent.
You wanna move the resolution, or,
One at a time or read all three?
Well, you can move all three, but you can read them. If we need to amend it, we can amend it.
Keep reading.
So questions to be asked on the May
Okay.
19th?
2, Article 20, Section 2004 pension. Shall Article 20, Section 2004 of the West Warwick Home Rule Charter be amended so that there shall be 7 members appointed by the town council for staggered 3-year terms from among persons who are qualified electors and residents of the town, no more than 4 members of whom shall at any time be members of the same political party. 3, Article 20, Section 2005 Housing Authority. Shall Article 20, Section 2005 of the West Warwick Home Rule Charter be amended so that there shall be a housing authority for the town consisting of 7 commissioners pursuant to, Rhode Island Constitution. The Rhode Island General Assembly will have to subsequently pass enabling legislation approving a resolution from the West Warwick Town Council amending Rhode Island General Law 45-26-4A1 to ratify and amend said Home Rule Charter amendment.
I'll move the resolutions for discussion. Can I see this thing?
Moved, second, and discussion. Angela, do you have anything?
Yeah, wait a minute, I'm looking right here. Question to be asked me, town council. What's this 7 members appointed by the town council?
I'm gonna move, I would ask the council to move and make that amended so it shall read as follows. Shall Article 20, Section 2004, omit the word pension there, of the West Warwick Home Rule Charter be amended so that there shall be 7 members of the Pension Commission
Oh,
appointed by the town council for
Right.
staggered 3-year terms. That'll make it read more fluidly.
Yeah, I so moved as read.
Yeah, one problem I have is it doesn't say to people, hey, there's already 5 people there.
This is an opportunity.
And it's never said.
Gentlemen, this is an opportunity to explain, for anybody, again, that might be looking at this streaming, what this is all about and why they should or should not approve it.
Well, one of the discussions that we've had in the past is having representation from each union body on the board and plus members of the public on the board. So that was brought up over the past 2 years. Obviously, we've had very hefty, deep pension discussions over the past 4 years on this council, if not longer. But this was one thing that was brought up to us, that maybe if we have more members on there from each union, also representing a person from each union and also from the public, it'd be a little more, how do I say it? Yeah, representative. And all the stakeholders are represented. So, and also, the housing authority was brought up to our attention, that we can either pick one from Robert Street and one from Clyde Towers. And at that point, the reason why we discussed that is they should both have a stake on that board, because, so the people at Roberts might not be having the same issues at Clyde Street, but there's no representation there. So that's why we decided to go with that also.
And if I can answer Councilman Tucker's question, usually the information or the instructions as to how it reads is not part of the question. So these are the questions. Underneath the questions, they'll indicate that currently there are 5 for both of the sections.
Okay.
All right. Any other discussion on that?
That's ABC.
ABC.
So how many only
Yeah, so I think there's minimal fiscal impact. Right, John? I mean, like, are any of these new members, do they get stipends? No. So there's, no, you sure? Okay, so there's very little, if any, impact at all. Doesn't raise or lower.
Housing authority does get paid.
All right, but you're talking like probably
$25 a month.
hundreds of dollars a year?
$25 a month.
Yeah, $25 a month for that, for those particular extra members. We're paying the other ones already, the $25 for them to come to a meeting and do their business. So basically, again, I'm recommending that we definitely approve these. They're all designed to make things more efficient, more equal, so you have better representation of the people that it affect. So they're really, if you read them, they seem kind of complicated. You're going to say, what? But they're really, it's good language. If you don't understand it, please call the town manager. He'd be happy to explain it to you. All right, you're going to be busy on the phone. But it's worth your approving these 3 items also.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution of the Town of West Warwick evidencing the town's intent to pay off the certain bond anticipation notes without extinguishing the town's authority to issue bonds and/or notes pursuant to that authorization.
I'll move to waive the reading.
Second.
Moving seconded, John?
Hello again.
Actually, move
I
the
didn't move.
resolution too.
Move the resolution.
Second.
John?
We actually have one of the bond anticipation notes that we had issued previously for the wind turbine project. One of them is about to come due, and we're looking to roll that ban until we actually secure the permanent financing. Secure in a sense that we decide which is the best route, not that we can't get it. But in the meantime, we do have proceeds available. We have approximately $200,000, so we can actually pay off the existing ban of $6 million and issue another one for $5.8 million, because we have some proceeds that are unspent, but we don't want to exhaust the possibility of using that $200,000 for borrowing costs in the future once we do seek the permanent financing. At the advice of Karen Grandy, who prepared the ordinance for us previously, she recommended or suggested that the council does need to pass this or should pass this resolution in order to remain capable of being able to borrow that $200,000 in the future for the additional costs.
By itself, this doesn't cause.
Go ahead.
So by. It works. It's on. Oh, is it? Okay. by itself, it doesn't cause any increase to the taxpayers. This is like an administrative type cleanup
Absolutely.
thing.
You
All
are,
right.
you are correct. It is not an additional cost. It's just, because we have we have those proceeds available right now, it's not prudent to actually go and ask for another $6 million ban because we have those proceeds available. So right now, we'll just roll that to a 5.8 million and have the other $200,000 available when we seek the permanent financing. So we'll still have the authority, or the council had granted us the authority up to 18 million, and we're still going to continue to have that authority as approved by the taxpayers last year, or the voters last year.
Very good.
So it's an administrative
Thank
function
you,
more than
John.
anything else.
Thank you. Any other questions? Any public questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Again, I want to just thank the council, anybody from the public who has spent time through this budget season. It has not been easy, even though we think it's easy because you got a 5-year plan. There's been decisions made, tough decisions, most of them to improve the town and the structure of the town. A lot of things in this budget that weren't said. We also looking to put a new roof on Station 1. Not a half a roof, but a full roof. If anybody knows, and guys who work there, they know it's raining through the, Station
Yeah, Station 1.
1.
1 and 4. And, I lost my thought now, maybe, I had a bunch of them lined up. But, again, a lot of things here, we have a lot of structure, road bond money that's gonna be used this year for a lot of roads throughout the town. As you can see, some of our wards have already been mocked up, and, we've already received phone calls. This is a tough budget. It's, down to where we think it's great. Also, I think we're contributing, I don't have the exact, it's close to $10 million into the pension fund. 9 million change, plus the OPEB, which,
And that 9 million is from various components, not just.
yeah, but again, overall, between the school budget, our budget, a little over $9 million, plus the OPEB. I mean, that's a big improvement from where we were 3 years ago. So if anybody asks where tax dollars are going, 9 million of that tax dollars is going into the pension fund. So, in case you get asked. Again, for anybody who walked in later, we had a member of the council make a motion to remove Assistant Chief, but due to having 2 more public meetings and so on and so forth, that we decided to keep that in, and also, it does not have to be filled. But, what was that it?
No, nothing.
But the budget was passed by this council the way it is, 4-1. And again, I thank everybody up here and anybody who took time out of their nights to come here and give their input. Thank you once again.
Sorry, Dave, for not giving you the last word on it, but special thanks to John and Fred, obviously. The council, we sit up here and talk about the budget, but these guys are the architects of it, and they make the thing work. So kudos to you guys for putting together a great budget, and something that often goes unsaid, but ever since I got on the council in 2012, this is by far the most transparent budget that we have ever had. This budget now breaks out benefits separately so that things are no longer blurred, and regular average taxpayers who look at this budget can now get more information just by looking at the line items and not have to call somebody and try and get a breakdown themselves. So I really like the direction that the transparency of this budget is going in. So great job to you guys. It's always getting better. So
And I think I can report back to about 10 or 12 of my constituents that called me in my area about 2-family owner occupied, because I guess the Daily Times put a article together last week that it's going to be almost a $6 per thousand increase on 2-family owner occupied, because they used the tax rates that we talked about prior to these tax rates, and they were very vocal to me. And I do live in I can use the village over here, a lot of 2-family owner occupied actually, they're both the same families, side by side. If you're from Woonsocket, it's side by each. But down in Phoenix, many families, ethnic families that are occupying two-family homes, and they're all one family, but they're, husband and wife on this side, mother and father on this side, daughter and husband on the other side, or whatever it may be. But, I did receive probably the most amount of calls on this, and so I'm gonna return all their calls this week, let them know that if this tax structure in front of us is not as heavy as you think it was, because they were looking at $1,200 to $1,600 of a tax increase on their two-family owner-occupied home. And I think they'll be relieved when I tell them it's 90 cents, whatever, 96 cents versus $6 and change. So that's all I got to say on that. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Chief and
Another one.
Bill, can I see you guys in the back, please? With Fred?
Mind if I join you?
Nope. No.